Making It Through by Barry N. Malzberg. Originally published in a 1972 anthology edited by the author's good friend Roger Elwood, called And Walk Now Gently Through the Fire and Other Science Fiction Stories. Republished in a collection of Malzberg stories entitled The Best of Barry N. Malzberg, in which the aforementioned friend and editor is praised in a winking way without being actually named in this particular story's introduction. Read by Darrell T. Smith II for my channel, Quasar Spectra. A brief introduction to the story. Another of the direct commission stories, I was offered a choice here. A piece on either biology or religion, since it would take an ironist greater than this writer to point out that they were one and the same. I selected biology. With Yom Kippur approaching, I knew that soon enough I would have plenty of religion, and fusing a good degree of hard background in psychiatry with customary paranoiac approach, I emerged with the following, which the editor loved and which started a career in writing for him, which 3 years, 51 stories, and 2.5 novels later shows no signs of flagging. See the May 1974 issue of Analog, containing other thoughts on this editor. This might be a good place to point out that I come by my background in the softer sciences legitimately and by inheritance. As an undergraduate major in sociology, as an employee of the New York State Department of Mental Hygiene, and as the nephew of the man who was, for 30 years, its chief statistician and the author of several landmark works in the field of identifying, mapping, and defining by socioeconomic strata and ethnic affiliation the types of mental illness. Dr. Benjamin and Barry N. I am convinced that 200 years from now the two Malzbergs will have fused in card catalogs and in the dim consciousness of the few specialists still interested in reading. Malzberg? A specialist will say. Oh yes, you mean the fellow who wrote about mental illness. Right. Novels and statistical abstracts. Am I right? Published by Albany and Random House. He sure knew a lot about craziness, all right, but that stuff never sells. My uncle died on April 12, 1975. I miss him. Making It Through. 1. Back to Ganymede, the captain says, somewhat drunkenly, his eyes rotating unevenly within their mad orbit. Back to the base. We must tell them what has happened to us. Lord save us from the sons of bitches. My mind is reeling. Sa, sa, sa. And he takes a concealed knife from a bulkhead, lurches toward me. I slap the knife from his quivering hand with careless ease, drop him to the panels with a blow, and do what I can to lash him with ropes. Unquestionably, he has gone mad. This does not fill me with panic so much as a querulous nostalgia. Now, as never before, I remember the captain as he was in his sane periods, and he was everything a captain should be, stolid, efficient, sexually repressed. Now it is all different. The arthropods of Jupiter have gotten to him, exactly as rumored. Malevolent, mysterious, they have brought their strange powers to bear upon him, and the captain has crumbled. My own resistance level seems to be somewhat higher, but then, on the other hand, one never knows. 2. The arthropods of Jupiter, the best scientific informants have advised us, possess a secret and pervasive weapon of enormous range and total penetration. They break down the amino acids upon contact to produce all of the classic symptoms of the archaic disease, schizophrenia. 3 exploratory flights have gone and returned with their crew totally insane. Now it is our chance. We have been given further shielding, deliberate instructions, drug therapy, tests for resistance. It is hoped that these preparations will make our mission successful, and we will be able to conquer the dread arthropods of Jupiter and claim that planet, as so many others, for mankind. All that we have to do is to settle in orbit and use the incendiary devices prepared for us. All life on Jupiter will perish under atomic bombardment, and the way to the planet will lie clearly before us. Utilize one simple control, and that will be the end of the arthropods, the only suspected sentient life on Jupiter. We have been advised, the living space. Yet, despite all these preparations, the captain's sanity has already collapsed, and my own is preserved only by this careful set of notes that I will keep straight through. I will keep them straight through. One simple control is all I have to push. 3. Double up for comfort, the mad captain sings, now lashed to the floor. They could have sent us one by one at less risk and expense, but they have a crew so that no one can trust anyone else to report on each other. A crew of 2 for me and you. The captain murmurs and makes a series of fish-like struggles against the bindings, gives that up and motions me to him with a demented wink. Listen here, he says. You know they're all out to get us. The administrators, the colony, everyone. How can we tell the aliens from the enemies? Turn around and go back there. Use the explosives on them. That's a direct order, you son of a bitch, he says, and caresses my cheekbone with a careful finger. I feel a suspicion of sexual response. I become very attached to the captain. No, I say. No. And I leave his side, remembering the dread persuasiveness of the paranoid schizophrenic. His ability to conjure a reality that matches his own construct. We will be within orbit in a matter of hours. I must retain control just long enough to use the devices and destroy the arthropods. Then I, too, may have the pleasure of going mad, if I wish. 4. The ray of the arthropods, we have been told, is their only defensive mechanism. They are a shy, stupid race, somewhat less intelligent than horses who graze amidst the gases of Jupiter and routinely emit this ray as a skunk might emit odor, with no more sensibility. We need not be concerned about their elimination. Jupiter is a fertile world, and we need the space. Schizophrenia is reversible, although the kind of schizophrenia that the arthropods induce has not responded to any treatment so far. 5. The captain evinces the blunted effect and ideas of reference common to chronic, undifferentiated schizophrenia. Look here, he says to me with stunning persuasiveness, marred only slightly by the indignity of his position. I'm not insane. You are. I'm the captain and far more biologically resistant to the ray. You've gone insane and are showing a paranoid reaction. This is not a mission of destruction. Please listen to me. We are on a mission of investigation to study the arthropods, who are a highly intelligent race, if a slightly clumsy one, and to make overtures of accommodation to them. These atomic devices we carry are only for self-defense. You've become the schizophrenic, paranoid type and believe that we must destroy the arthropods, and with the muscularity of the demented have overpowered me before I could protect myself. Please listen to me. Please release me and go to your room. I will turn the flight around and we will return. I will take no retaliatory action against you. You are a sick man. You have a terrible disease. No, I say with impassivity necessary to confront the schizoid. You are wrong. You have gone mad, and I retain a wedge on sanity. We are to wipe out the arthropods, and you are cunningly trying to turn it the other way. I will not listen to you any more. 20 minutes now before we slide into orbit, and then I will press the button. I will wipe the buggers out of the solar system because they are evil. No, you have it wrong, the captain says, now whimpering a bit, his control evading him. You are quite mad. I am sane. Please release me. No, I say. This mission will succeed. I will not be deterred. I am more resistant. And so on and so forth. Our discussion, querulous and bitter by turns, continuing as we approach the point of orbit. It will not be much longer now. Not much longer. Surely we deserve the solar system, I say. That's the least I can ask for our trouble getting this far. 6. To steel myself and retain my perspective, I inscribe the 6 forms of the old disease schizophrenia. Hebephrenic, simple type, catatonic, paranoid, chronic undifferentiated, and schizoaffective. Catatonic is the deadliest. Chronic undifferentiated, the most insidious. Schizoaffective, the sanest. They're caused by imbalances in the blood system, in turn caused by faulty adrenals, a discovery made by Folsom in 2009 that brought about effective drug therapy that wholly wiped this scourge from mankind by 2035. We are no longer a schizoid race. We have made great advances over these centuries. Our goals are perfectly reasonable. They involve the conquest of the universe. 7. Please, the captain says to me as we slide into orbit, please think about this. Don't you recognize your own symptomology? But it is entirely too late for that. I silence the lunatic with a single threatening gesture, and then I press the button, fondling it only slightly, the lovely button so resilient in its dimensions, and I see the fire, the brilliant arcing fire that shows the bombs glancing off atmosphere into immediate connection. And just as I do so, as I accomplish the desired, I feel my will and rigidity collapse, like scaffolding, and from that instant I am as mad as the captain. I am as mad as the captain. Feel myself choked by sobs, remorse, pain, guilt, anguish, because I've destroyed the arthropods, the lovely, lovely arthropods, that through their great gift wanted to bring back the sanity we had lost hundreds of years ago, and I too stupid to see it. Beside me, still bound, the captain is mumbling of defense mechanisms. I do not want to think of defense mechanisms, but only of the arthropods, those wise and saddened creatures who now, perhaps I am dreaming this, lie as ash beneath us while our little ship, on full automatic, speeds back toward Ganymede to give the joyful news.